the DVD box. Spawncast, I don't know. It's the Spawncast OVA. I don't know. It's like a
350 or 349.5, I guess.
We'll remember that for next time. That's fine. This is we were coming back after a couple weeks off after the New Year's, and all kinds of stuff happened. Sean is like dying right now. He's like really sick currently, so he couldn't make it. He was going to try to lay on his couch and just participate here and there as things happen. And then Nate ended up having something come up, and then MVG did as well. But I said, you know what? We still, the show must go on. We got to do something. I said we'll be back on January 6th. So we are here. And I did bring in a guest, and shout out to BG, came in at the like last minute. Like I was looking around, I was like, I had a whole list of people to bring in this year, and you were on there, and I was just going down the list. I was like, let's see what BG's up to. BG, how you doing tonight? I'm
good. Appreciate the invite. I had to do some last minute bargaining with my wife when you hit me up, but I'm here. You know, I made the trade. So
you're alive.
I'll keep it a shorter episode. It'll be like an hour or so. Okay, so I won't keep you away for too long. But the reason you came up in my mind when I was going through it, I was like, I see what's happening right now, because I'm going to go through the 3 different systems for 2024, and I see the stuff for PlayStation right now, and it is interesting, and so much so that I wanted to bring you in because you seem like you're in the midst of that, and kind of discuss their 2024 a bit with some of their first party stuff. So, and I saw you were talking about the Switch as well, and I wanted to see what your take was on the new system that we all expect to launch this year. So good to have BG here, of course. Oh, when's Weapon Wheel coming back? Sean keeps bringing it up.
So we're probably gonna be back at least by the 21st. When we go on break, like after Christmas, our fans hate it, but we always take a lot of time. We're in no rush to come back. So
good.
Okay. There you go. 21st. Okay.
Yeah.
Put it on the calendar. Good stuff. We have Josie Woe with us. Josie.
Yep. Happy to be back.
Good to have Josie back. OJ is here holding up the pre-show. Player Essence.
It was a lot of fun. Fun pre-show. Interesting stuff that happened. So thanks for everybody that came out to the pre-show. Appreciate it.
And we got Click here. Click is joining us, starting off the podcast, not jumping in midway through randomly or something.
Nope. Yep. I'm a free woman right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. Also, chat, I need recommendations. I'm trying to name my panda monk. Give me character names in chat, please, and thank you.
Like
is this a World of Warcraft thing?
Yeah. Yes, I'm making another character that I don't need, but give me names.
I just watched a documentary on who's that guy, Wreckful. So that reminded me. It was a very good. It was a very good video that came out from the gamer from Mars. He
Okay.
It was really good.
I can't believe that game is still this popular. I remember it back in like 06, 07. I can't believe it's still moving. I'll tell you like that. That's crazy.
If you had told me in the year of our Lord 2024 that we'd have like 5 different versions of WoW out and like millions of players on each one, I wouldn't have believed you. But as far as retail goes, like the most current, iteration of the expansion, I think it's kind of what brought it back, because it was on its last legs and no one really wanted to play it.
And then we have Evans here as well. He's back from his LAN party.
Yep.
Week-long LAN party. Good to have him back. Like I said, tonight we're going to be going through the 2024 for the different platform holders. And then next week we'll do like a more full-fledged large episode with everyone else here, because they had some stories from over the break. And I wanted to get into MVG's backlog because he actually played a bunch of games. So some stuff we'll go over there. But let's just get right into the new year that we're in currently, 2024. We're going to go through Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. All 3 of them have quite a bit to go over, but I think I'm going to start right away with Sony, because this is all over my timeline. I'm not necessarily used to it with Sony and some of their first party stuff. Usually it's like Xbox and then Nintendo people talking about older systems. And I guess did you guys see the Nintendo or the Street V3 where people realized that Mario and Peach and Luigi were in there?
Yeah.
I thought that was common knowledge. And you know what? That's kind of on me, because I feel like that's the way for everything. And that's why I get in trouble when I tell people what happened at the end of Final Fantasy VII Disc 1. I just assume everyone knows. So that's
true.
But then they got Mario and Luigi and Peach, and that's just Josie, did you know that?
No, I didn't know about this.
Oh wow!
What?
Okay, see, this is good. We got the younger generation here just educating us.
That
Okay,
was like
I
one
didn't-
of the most popular, I think, games. It was always being rented out at Blockbuster, and that's the only way my parents would let us play it because they didn't have money for games. Like you can rent it for like $3 for the weekend. And bro, whenever it was available, I was picking that up. It was so much fun.
Well, that usually was what I'm used to, seeing random stuff like that. But in this case, it's all about Sony's their first party stuff, because this has come up. Sean's mentioned it, Nate's mentioned it, MVG in passing here and there. Something going on over at Sony right now with their first party stuff. But they did release a trailer. They put a website post up and they went over actually quite a few games this year. They were all 2024 titles. But we're going to get to the theme here as we go through them. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the big focus because that's out in a month and 3 weeks or so. It's right at the end of February. So that's obviously a big push for them now, alongside Square Enix, who's putting the game out. But for PS5 specific games, Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and Foam Stars. Third-party wise, that'll be on other platforms: Metal Gear Solid, Delta, Dragon's Dogma 2, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And when it comes to first-party or Sony-owned IPs, I'll say, and I'm saying that for one specific title, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Concord, and Helldivers 2. I mentioned that because Helldivers 2, while that IP is owned by Sony since they publish it, it is made by Arrowhead. So they're not owned by Sony at this. I say at this time because I guess if this one does well, maybe Sony scoops them up. But the common theme here is last year they did Spider-Man 2 and they did Horizon Call of the Mountain. And I think that was it, unless I'm missing one. I think that was it. And this year it's looking a little empty. I don't know. It's very weird because I think the point's been brought up. BG, I think you brought this up too, that Sony isn't necessarily one to announce a game and then it comes out in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. If
we're in January right now, it's this is an interesting time for Sony. I think I might have a reason why this is, but I'm curious, BG, what your take is on the current schedule they have in front of us.
It's weird. I think every console has its down years. You know, that's normal, at least one in a generation, where you just don't have that many games to put out. But this year is looking barren. And last year was only, as you said, Spider-Man 2 and Call of the Mountain, which was really bad. I bought that. It's not.
You liked it. It was a lot of climbing. I know. That's what I spent a lot of time. I thought the bow was cool. Like where the first time you did it, and then it was kind of like
you have an IP like Horizon. You make it into a VR game, and you make the player climb like 80% of the time. That makes no sense. But yeah, like it's just weird to have a dry season for your console. Essentially, what would be 2 years in a row? Because if you don't have anything announced now, I don't really believe you're gonna release something in the same year that you never even announced it. You know, that's not something they've really done in the past. Others have done it, but not PlayStation. So I don't believe they're suddenly gonna start doing that. So I think it's entirely possible we get through this whole year again and no first party exclusives from any of the first party studios or anything like that. I wouldn't be shocked.
That's going to be, I mean, there's obviously stuff to play as they went over this, but I get it. The idea of Sony's first party studios, like they're like the Sucker Punch, the obviously Naughty Dog, who's been through the ringer recently, and Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's coming up, but I don't know if that's moving the needle for most people. I'll say most people. The survival, the separate mode they add looks kind of cool, but it's not like a brand new title. So I kind of wonder if the stuff going on behind the scenes right now with Sony when it comes to the live service and the bit of a U-turn and cancellation of things like Factions 2 is kind of put them in a bit of a position where there's sort of this gap behind the scenes that we're not necessarily privy to, where they're just trying to fill it in with these third-party games right now.
Yeah, and suddenly people are changing the narrative that, it doesn't matter whether it's first party or third party, when that was never the case before. There was always an emphasis on, the first party games coming from those development teams. So I don't know why people are kind of switching up now. You would think that they would have learned their lesson not to depend on, just mainly third parties, lean on third parties. You know, with so many acquisitions happening, you could completely lose your supply of where you're getting your games from. You know, trying to just lean on third parties only.
It kind of reminds me a bit of the PS2 generation somewhat, because there were times where Sony was still trying to get their studios together and figure it all out for that generation. And you just had all these third-party games come in that they decided to scoop up and put just on the PS2 at that time, whether it's the Metal Gear Solids or the Final Fantasies. And it's kind of like, what, 20 some odd years now, it's kind of circling back around here with them, and just in a precarious position. Concord's the big one,
I guess, and we don't even really know what the hell that is. You know,
they describe it as a PvP multiplayer game, but we have it's like a 40-second trailer we have to go on. When I'm gonna assume that's, gosh, I want to say that's the first half of this year, but
I don't think
if
so.
it is, then they wouldn't have much for the second half. So that might, I hate to say it, that might be their like big their third quarter game next year for the site, like the end of this. I don't know.
I think they just have to listen. I think they gonna have to hold the L, right? Suck it up and accept that they're probably not gonna have any games, and recover next year. You had 2 years of downtime, which is really bad. That's really bad. Like, from a fan, from any perspective. If that's what you got to do, these games are taking longer and longer to develop. So, and I think they just, weren't really ready. So, go ahead and hold the L, and we'll see y'all in 2025, I guess.
When is Xbox next game coming out?
Their next game, it's the next big game that would be like, okay, probably Hellblade. I think it's Hellblade 2, but we don't have a date on it yet.
Not confirmed, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When so I think the expectation has been, right, for a game to come out every quarter, essentially, at least one
for Xbox.
Right.
People look for you. Yep.
Okay. And we don't have, obviously, live service, phasing away from that, so you're not going to have replayability as strong if you have no live service versus a single player. So, I mean, if we're saying, believe me, I'm like so far removed from kind of gaming as a whole. My whole picture is, if PlayStation is taking an L for not having a game this quarter too, does that mean Xbox is taking an L technically every quarter for however many months now?
Well, I think because
outside of having Game Pass.
Well, they finished up with last year. They did last year now, but they finished up with Starfield. They finished up with Forza, and then technically to start the year they had like Hi-Fi Rush, which Hi-Fi Rush is a good release for them.
I've heard it's really good.
It is now, but we'll get to that later on.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But I think with Microsoft, as we're going to get to them a bit later, I think this year is going to start to set up their picture, kind of their roadmap, their strategy.
I would like to know one.
Yeah, so I think we'll see more from them when it comes to their release lineup here soon, because they do have an event that's basically been thrown around now, but it's in a week and a half. So
we forgot a game from Sony.
Stellar
Blade. That's coming out 2024, and they are now, they like took over like publishing duties of that game. It's only coming to PS5.
I think that was it's interesting, OJ. I feel like that was kind of a reaction to the stuff that's going on right now behind the scenes with them, with the live service pivot or games being pushed back, canceled shelves, what have you. I feel like that kind of a react, because that game disappeared for a while and then it came back, and it's like, okay, Sony's publishing, they're funding, they're working with us on this. And we heard reports before that Sony was going to start being more aggressive and look around for games that they can bring in. So I think Stellar Blade I think that is a good pickup for them to just put in the calendar year as, again, kind of a stopgap. But I want to see what, like, for example, Sucker Punch is doing, because I think they have a ton of potential. Apparently they made Ghost of Tsushima for what, $60 some odd million. But obviously, I mean, with how it goes now, would absolutely triple that.
We're getting a sequel, right? Right?
Yeah, that's what I would
gotta get a sequel.
Right. We have to.
Most likely.
Okay.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
Yeah, but I heard with Stellar Blade, I mean, there was some issues with the combat and some of the things, and people were they keep on delaying it. They keep on delaying it, but
Mhm.
they need to get, like, if you look at the first trailer, I play a lot of games like Bayonetta and like DMC and stuff like that, and it didn't look anywhere near as refined as those games. So they needed to spend a bit more time refining that game, so it should be better, up to the expectations of what people see with that type of game. So it's good that they took some extra time, because I don't think the game would have been as good if they released it, as it was intended to be released, like on everything. Like the extra time is going to help with that game.
Yeah, and they have Rise of the Ronin as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't realize at first, but that's not even coming to PC immediately. I think it's literally just PS5 only. And
okay,
I'm pretty sure, because I was looking for confirmation that there's a PC version, unless I'm mistaken. Because I think because it's Team Ninja, and Neo 1 and Neo 2 did the same thing.
Right. PS5.
They were on PS5 first, and it didn't come to PC until a year later. So they even seem to have that game not even going to PC. And I'm personally, I'm not like super excited about that game. It looks okay, but I think it's essentially Neo 4. Like that's how I feel. Like, because Neo 3 was so long. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 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 I like a Rise of the Road, and I do kind of go, man, I want to see Ghost of Tsushima too.
Exactly.
At that.
I'll prefer that.
Do you have a release date for Rise of Ronin?
Yes.
Sometime in March.
It's March 22nd. March 22nd.
I think people said it's the same release date as Dragon's Dogma too.
Oh, is it? Oh, hold on a minute.
It might be.
No.
That's tough.
I'm a bit more interested in the Rise of Ronin games than Dragon's Dogma, to be
It's
honest.
the same day.
Man. Yeah, it is.
Damn.
I mean, I'll get both, but I feel like I'll play. I'll play Rise of the Ronin first.
I'm
I like
honestly not sure.
Games.
I'm not super convinced by either game. I'll probably get both, but I'm not like very sure what I think would be more interesting to play first.
So, here's another question. Okay, so if Sony doesn't have, say, a big game for this year, do you think it'd be enough if they just said, we're just going to show everyone what we're doing for the next 3 to 4 years? We're just going to have a big presentation. Here's a showcase. Here are the games. They're not out anytime soon. Well, I feel like it's been a little while though since we've had something
nothing
of
consequence that matters that people care about.
Well, I mean, with the Insomniac League, don't we kind of already have that anyway?
Yeah.
But we don't know, like, from most of the studios, we still like Blue Point, Sucker Punch, the London studio,
Team Asobi. Most of them at this point.
For a second there, BG. I thought you said Zucker Punch, but you
no, sorry. Most of them we don't know what, because even Santa Monica, they just did Valhalla, but we know they've been working on something else behind that. So most of them we actually don't know what they're doing anymore. So it's like
Naughty Dog has a new IP.
Yeah, if you actually did do like this whole blowout and said, okay, this is all a bunch of our first party stuff coming, people might give you a little bit forgiveness. I think that would probably work.
Just show what's coming at this point, because it sounds weird, but we're 3 years into the generation, so we're almost halfway done the generation already, and people say it doesn't feel like the generation's really like started. So maybe if you just go, here's the second half, boom. Here's some awesome games we got coming up from these top tier studios. I feel like people at least have that. How many times did they show Spider-Man at E3? I feel like they showed it at least twice. Like, I think it closed out twice or something.
So how do you space out announcements like that though? How do you do it all at once so you know about everything so there's no more surprises, or do you leave some out? Like how do you gauge that though? Because I know like normally the opinion is don't show us games if it's not coming out in the next 12 months. So how does that change? Yeah. How do you gauge that?
I mean,
you don't like that. You like just see it sooner rather than later, so you know what to expect.
I'm okay. I would probably be, depending on what it is, I'll probably be okay with 2 years.
2 years.
Okay. Yeah, I think right now, if Naughty Dog is ready to show their new IP to give a sense of what it is, I think that's the studio you start with. It's like, Naughty Dog's been going through it. Let's get them out in front and show them what they're working on, so people remember.
Well, Naughty Dog, I feel like it's a little bit different because they basically just, told people, hey, we told you it was coming for a while now, and all of a sudden it's not. I feel like if anybody it should be Naughty Dog. But as far as like all the other developers, I mean, how has the fallback really been on Insomniac for their stuff unintentionally being announced
Oh, like Wolverine is. It's hard to tell because people are like taking these alpha, not pre-alpha, and acting like it's the full game, and it's.
It is.
Hey, sometimes Twitter's Twitter. Well, now it's X is X. I don't know. It's a lot of there's a lot of armchair developers online from what I've learned.
Too many.
These people make MVG laugh without realizing they make him laugh. It honestly, Wolverine, it's very, very early to tell anything from it based on the stuff that's being shared. And I think it's just been a lot of sympathy, obviously, for Insomniac and what they've gone through with it. And Wolverine's still apparently 2026. So they're still years out for that anyway. And the stuff we're looking at is 3 years too early anyway. So I think Insomniac's they're gonna have Venom apparently next year. So
I feel like this whole generation, though, we've been like waiting for these consoles to like get started, like over and over. We're like, this is the year, and I just feel like it hasn't really hit yet. I don't know, but
You're not wrong, Josie. I felt like this before they even came out, and people crucified me for it. So I'm feeling vindicated every day.
That's because Microsoft had to delay Halo, and they put it on the box.
It just feels like everything's getting so big that it's like they're prioritized. Like, I guess it's obviously better to prioritize quality over quantity, but at the same time, it's like everything is so big and massive, and they want this next thing to be the game you play for years that like nothing actually comes out, and these consoles don't have a lot of momentum. Like, I love both of them. I love my PS5 and the Xbox Series S. I'm not saying I don't, but like.
You definitely should not love your Xbox Series S.
It's chill. I like my Series S, actually. I love it.
Well, if you have a bunch of selection, like people
Game
think
Pass is great for Series S.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're gonna have the whole Netflix of games at your fingertips. I mean,
exactly.
that's flexibility.
Why don't you like a Series S, OJ? What's your issue? What's your beef with that?
It's all digital. I have an Xbox.
She's in college. You know how it goes if you leave a stack of games around in college.
Oh, you're a physical crusader?
Start disappearing.
Yes.
All of my Switch stuff is physical.
The option for physical. That's what I like. I like the option. I play digital games. Like I play digital games, but removing the option is to me not a good thing. Having the option is better for digital people and also for physical people. But if the companies are allowed to just only do digital, that's not good for consumers. And you guys will find out. If there ever is a time, you will find out. It's a basic econ. You gotta have.
I agree with you. I agree. I'm just saying. So this is a console I bought for $200 broke in college. Why would I get that? Or why would I not get that and buy the $500 one if I can eat?
I'm not telling you to buy that. I made a joke. I made a little. I understand.
What?
I understand why you would buy an extra Xbox.
Best Buy already removing all them physical copies of everything, man. It's over. Y'all lost the fight, my brother. I'm sorry.
I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll see.
I'm gonna start a revolution.
Okay, just gonna go in there and just start stocking games when no one's looking.
Hey, look. We'll see. I hope when it's all digital and they just start charging whatever and all that, I hope you guys are happy.
I mean, it's gonna be the exact same thing as we're seeing with streaming services right now. Like, they seem to forget why people don't want to pay for cable, and all of a sudden now we're paying 15 here. Oh, never mind, it's gonna be 17 here. Times like 4 or 5, whatever streaming services you're sub to. So
y'all paying that, not me.
Oh no, not me. But I will say, like, the S makes sense because you have the physical option still. If it was the only option,
that's what I'm saying.
I get that. But because she has a choice, hey, bro, are you gonna pay for her college tuition?
Yeah, send me a couple thousand, OJ.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yes.
Get through college.
First of all, college is a waste of time. Even though I got my degree, it's a waste of time.
Whoa, no college slander. Don't say that to the kids. That isn't no.
First of all, that's a waste of time.
Don't go to school.
Okay? Stay out of school. Stay in school.
I'm joking. I have my college. I got 2 stupid degrees. Okay, I got 2 of them. So yeah, no, go to school.
2 is overkill.
It was easy though. Back then, you could stack them. You can do kinesiology and communication. Like, you only needed like 3 or 4 more classes. So
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, they're both useless, by the way. But anyway,
you're talking right now, ain't you?
Yeah,
you're interacting. You got that communication.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, I guess. But they didn't teach me anything that. YouTube wasn't around back then. So
you work out all the time, right?
There was no YouTube and all this, so it wasn't like the same, you know?
You missed about like a year. When did you come around? Was that like 2006, 07?
2005 YouTube?
I think it was when I was leaving high school and Newgrounds was like still the thing.
I graduated in 2009. That's when I graduated. So it was YouTube wasn't really like much of a
Bro, you just gave up your whole shtick, but good job.
No, I was old. I entered school later. I didn't go to school right away.
He went to college in his 40s.
In my 30s. I went to college in my 30s.
in the dorms with the 18-year-olds.
They all thought he was a
No,
narc.
I had my own apartment. I didn't have any dorms.
Oh.
I didn't have any dorms with no 18-year-old girl. Wait a minute. Hold up. Never mind. She was 20.
Which
Wow.
Is what he
which
told the
which Sony studio does everyone want to see the most who hasn't said anything in a while?
Blue Point.
Blue
maybe,
Point. Okay.
I think.
You want to see if
been
it's
so
because it's
long.
new IP, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a new IP, and it's like they've been just the quietest, I feel, along with Sucker Punch. I guess it's a mystery. I don't know.
They put those holiday cards out. Very
Yeah.
nice of them. Yeah. What do you think, OJ? Is there anyone that's just kind of hanging out at Sony? You want to see what they have?
I want to see Stellar Blade, so I'm happy that's coming. Outside of that, I mean, not like whatever they bring out, cool. Like, but Naughty Dog, I'd love to see what they're doing next. They said they had an all new single player game, so I
think they're gonna do like a fantasy.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
heard.
down for that because I usually beat all of Naughty Dog's games.
Y'all think that's what's coming next? Like immediately next?
For them, for Naughty Dog, I kind of
Yeah.
feel like they're doing their new IP. I kind of think they pulled people off Last of Us, and they're like, let's go.
I feel like they're still doing Last of Us. I felt like they went after what happened and stuff like that. Stuff got shaky for them. I felt like they retreated back into exactly what they know. Let's go do another Last of Us and get some 90s and make some money. I think they went back to what they were familiar with.
Okay, so you think Last of Us Part 3 is up before
Yes.
the okay
New
okay,
IP. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
What about
I thought,
Sorry, go ahead.
Chrissy.
Oh, I was gonna say I want Media Molecule.
Media Molecule. Okay, you know
The
what?
people who make Little Big Planet. I want another
Redemption.
one. They're so good.
Redemption.
What about the group that brought us Returnal as a Housemark?
Housemark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Housemark.
yeah. What are they working on? Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to see that. I like
That is
Returnal.
true. That's true.
Housemark. Okay. I'm gonna say Team Asobi because if Sony puts them on a VR thing again, my gosh, it's gotta be a 3D platformer with a budget behind it and let
Astro
them go.
Bot.
Let them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe Sony isn't looking at Astro Bot like this could be a legit mascot for us as like all ages. It's the same theme as the PlayStation 5. It's like
Yeah.
to me, it makes a lot of sense to put a budget behind it. And honestly, with Team Asobi, they'd probably make a pretty good 3D platformer with that Ghost of Tsushima $60 or $70 million budget. Even
They're not.
And,
What you just said? Give them $60 million to make an Astro Bot game.
Yeah.
You're not.
That's an
That'd be fire.
Astrobot game
It'd be
we
so
will
good.
never stop playing.
hey, inflation,
Yes.
inflation,
Bro,
man.
you were
Give it a multiplayer feature. Make it like
Inflation.
party animals or something. That'd be-
I think there's a lot of
$60 million to make
potential.
Astro Bot?
No, I think there's a lot of potential with Astro Bot, but they're not digging into it, man.
No,
Like,
Yeah, not
like,
60
yeah.
million. You don't need that much to make a 3D like a good 3D platform does not
Like
need
a really
60
good
million.
one.
Yeah, it
Like,
does not need 60 million.
people were hyping like Little Big Planet to be the last PlayStation mascot. I was never on board with that. I'm like, this thing sucks. Get him out of here.
Well, this
Astro
Ratchet
Bot-
and
Josie.
Clank was
That's crazy.
Astro Bot, I think, fits perfectly. It's literally like a cartoon of the PS5. Essentially.
Sackboy's
it's perfect
really
for it.
cool. I feel like we're sleeping on him. But it's fine.
how much was the Ratchet and Clank budget? Wasn't that like 80 million or something like that?
What, the recent one?
Yeah. I thought
I thought it was
in
like
the-
overscaled.
It was too
I think
damn
it was
big.
80,
I thought it was-
82 million. 82 million.
See, I'm trying to save them money right now. I'm trying to save them 22 million on this thing. Okay.
I get that, but I mean, like Ratchet and Clank is proven and it's been around. Astro Bot has not.
Hey, all I know is Astro's Playroom is going to go on to be the best-selling 3D platformer of all time. That's all I know.
that is stupid.
That's all I
saw
know.
that tweet.
hey, people out here inflating Wii Sports
Technicalities.
numbers. You know what? We
Well, I was
inflate
gonna say,
Astro's
isn't it just
numbers.
a Wii Sports situation? It just comes with the
It is.
console. So
Yes.
Hey, allow me to look up the best-selling games of all time because I guarantee Wii Sports is in the top 5.
Let's
It's
add,
a
let's-
banger game.
Yeah,
have you ever hit a
home run?
Have you ever
do
played
we
the
add
boxing?
pre-installed software? It's because like Wii Sports is a separate disc. and it's sold separately in in Japan. It was never packaged with the Wii.
Ever in Japan?
You can
Yeah, in Japan. At
you
the
can
beginning,
re-download.
it was not packaged with it.
re-download
You had to
Astro
buy it
if you
separately.
delete it. It's digitally packaged. You got to re-download it.
Can you buy it?
Yeah, it's free. That's what it is. It's
Okay, so
free.
you can't
It's zero.
you can't
Zero with
buy
a little
the game.
star next to it.
So Face Raiders from the 3DS. That's one of the best selling games of all time, right?
Hey,
it's packaged with the
got it.
3DS.
Did it come with it?
Face Raiders, 75 million copies of Face Raiders. Let's go.
Hey, Astro's doing big things. Time to give him the platform.
Yeah, give him
Time
the
to put him
respect he
up there.
needs.
Need the respect. Get him off that VR headset. If they show up with a VR Astro game, my gosh.
I mean, they just lost a VR company because they're just not. It's not working.
Yeah,
for them, man.
unfortunately the developer did go under. Well, they're dissolving.
First contact.
soon.
or
Yeah,
something like that.
they said it. Hey, it's not. There's not enough support in the VR sector. We're out. And I was like, oh,
It was
all
kind
right.
of funny because they said, yeah, there's not enough support in the VR sector, but their game was also broken.
I mean, that probably didn't help
Yeah.
things either. Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you didn't help the cause, but there. So
Last, the PS5 Pro. It's I'll tell people now who are apparently it's not getting announced at CES. So there you go. But it seems like it's set for the holiday 2024. I don't really know what they're going to do to market it other than it just plays 4K better in PS5 Pro. But of course, it's shiny and I'll buy it. So there you go. That's it. It's got Pro on the end, but any idea, anyone got any idea on pricing, anything for that as we go towards, I mean, it's going to be a full third-party year for the most part with some other first-party games in there, but I mean, they could probably say, hey, a lot of these games play significantly better, and if they set it up correctly for GTA 6 in 2025, it seems like it'll probably do well with the enthusiast crowd.
It's going to be more than what it is now.
How much was the PS4 Pro to PS4 when that came out? Does
400
anybody remember?
versus the PS4 Pro is 400. They got that at
Okay.
400. I remember that. And then I think they also introduced the PS4 Slim at that time.
because they
Mhm.
had dropped the price for the
Yes.
the base
Yep.
version after the
Yep. And then I think they pushed a patch for HDR and stuff for the original PS4 that they weren't selling then.
So I'm gonna guess
but-
I'm gonna guess $5.99 for that.
Okay. Okay. $599, 500, 600. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, just $100 more. $100 more with inflation, and
Are you guys
just
gonna
kinda
buy
what's
it?
going on. Yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna make
I'll buy
videos
it.
on it, so it'll be a tax
Yeah.
write-off. Yeah,
It's
okay.
called
Oh,
tax
yeah. I'll
write-off, tax
break
write-off.
that thing down.
All
for
right,
a
you
minute.
guys hear it first, Chad. This is a tax
I-
write-off. Okay.
I don't know if they would that $600 price point, is from the stuff of nightmares. That's bad history. It's bad. I don't know if you want that on you.
It's going to be 600 and it won't have the disc drive attached. You'll have to buy that separately.
Go 549. I think you
Okay,
avoid.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. Okay.
$50 more. I mean, does that? I mean, they might push that, right? If to get people try to upgrade. But I don't know. That just, I mean, if they did $100 more for the PS4, and like the economy now is, in terms of inflation, is even worse.
Well, yeah, I'm
so-
buying it too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
so
team.
that's one reason why,
buying
but
new
I mean,
shiny stuff.
It could
At
be
least you're honest.
$549. It could be $549.99. That would
I
be
can see that
a very
because-
attractive price. If they did $549, that would be super attractive for people.
I think it would
That would
still,
be.
I kind of feel like it would still not have that disc drive though, and you have to buy it separately if you want it
That
to
suck-
the physical
no,
media.
that would be terrible. That
I
would be
kind of
terrible.
think that's the way
Would
they
you
do
still
it.
buy it?
Yeah,
I
because
don't know if
I'd get the disc
if I'd
drive.
buy
Yeah.
I don't know if I-
I mean, if I was already in at 600 and now it's 549 and you got to get like the $80 drive with it.
Oh,
it's
you got to
like,
buy
oh,
the. No, I don't want a separate disc drive. I just want the disc drive in there.
Well, you attach it. It's
Yeah, I don't want to.
You can
I don't want
remove
to
it.
do all that. I
It's
just want
easy.
it.
Just pop the side
It
off.
costs Sony nothing to put a Blu-ray drive in there. They own the technology.
I don't know. Then they have SKUs all over the place, man. They got like 449, they got 500, 549, 600. It's all over the
Give
place.
me
It's a
one
mess to
SKU.
buy, and they
for
don't want to
six-
carry the thing apparently.
Give me one SKU for $5.99, and I'm in.
So what's it gonna
Yeah.
do? It's gonna cut down load times by like a second.
It'll probably make. I mean, for example, when games like Final Fantasy 16 are played on the PS5, they drop resolution to accommodate frame rate or vice versa. It'll probably just be. It does it better.
That's probably the best it'll do. It'll make Final Fantasy 16 actually run at a full 60 and not 45 when you're roaming around and 60
Didn't they
when you're fighting.
market the
So,
PS5 as being able to run things at 60 though? Isn't that what they marketed it
does.
at?
Well, they said 120.
That's
Oh,
what
they said
everybody does.
120.
It's up to that though. That doesn't mean every game. It just means it's up to that.
Oh.
To be fair, they did put 8K on the
8K.
box, too.
What,
And
it
it
was
was
like an
technic-
8K movie. Isn't there like an 8K
There was
movie?
no there was technically one game that could run an 8K,
Falconer or
but it,
whatever it was.
Astro
it-
Bot.
No, the Taurus, right?
The Taurus.
I don't remember, but
Yeah,
The
Taurus.
Taurus.
that's all you need to put it on the
Yeah,
box.
you see one.
One game.
Yeah, it's 8K on the Taurus. You can run it in 8K.
I feel like they probably put that on there because the HDMI classification was high enough to be able to output 8K. And maybe they figure someday streaming and Comcast will play along and allow you to do that. I don't know. We'll see. But that's Sony in 2024. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I'm just looking for their big showcase. February, March. I don't know.
Have it
Need
come
that.
out with like a special edition. Give people something beyond the minimal specs. Like have it be something cool looking. I think that'll work.
The PS5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna look like it's gonna look like the PS5 now, but it's gonna have the other like it's gonna like the double
Ridge
stuff for you.
iteration.
The
Yeah, have a whole
design is
other
so
one.
disgusting on the PS5.
Yeah,
I hate it.
it'll be.
I really like the PS4 Pro. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, the PS4 Pro is fine. It's
Yeah.
just mine sounded like it was trying to take off in outer space.
Yeah,
That was
that's the only.
problem.
Oh,
yeah, it was
crazy
loud.
on
But
that thing.
outside of that, like in terms of like what it would do, like even if you look at like the new what was like the Prince of Persia game, I mean that runs at 4K 60 on the PS4 Pro.
How is
pretty
the
good.
jump? How is the jump in technology though between the PS4 to the Pro and the PS5
the
to
Wasn't
Pro?
Pro
huge.
The PS4 Pro
Right.
was interesting because they were with AMD while AMD was developing that chip at the time,
Mhm.
and they technically had the technology before AMD put it into their video cards. The problem was they had to still work with the Jaguar cores, and it was like you had this little Intel CPU, and it's like, okay, here's the 4090 on top of it, kind of thing, and it's like this
Yeah.
massive GPU on it. So,
Mhm.
I mean, for some games, it definitely was a massive improvement. You
Mhm.
had the 60 FPS toggle and that sort of thing. So, but it's I think it's just going to be a system that enthusiasts will pick up and probably capture 10% of the install base, and they'll be fine with it.
How much is the normal PS5? It's like 500.
450 or 500, depending on if you get the disk drive enabled one or not.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll go up $100.
Yeah.
550. That makes sense. Let's move over to Nintendo. We had a prediction that came out from Dr. Sirkin Toto. What was it? Kantan Games, I think, is his publication or company that he's part of there. And he put out what I would say is a pretty safe prediction. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this a million times, and we've definitely talked about this before in previous podcasts. But the idea being the Switch is the new system will still be an iterative version of the current Switch, kind of an upgrade, if you will, the Switch Pro, and it coming in at $400 as opposed to $500. I don't know what anyone gets in $600. It to me, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, it's about right. That was kind of, and it headlines everywhere for this thing. I do want to mention though, Dr. Sirkin Toto is also the person over the last like 3 years who's been saying a Switch Pro is coming out that year. Just saying. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah, well, it's I would say like darts and dartboard and stuff, but it's kind of like, okay, this is the year. This is the year. He did mention though that the Switch Pro was almost a thing, but then Nintendo pulled the dev kits back, and the funny thing about that is no one's ever going to believe him with that, because it sounds like, okay, all those times were wrong. That's because Nintendo came and got the dev kits and took them back, but it was going to be a thing. The funniest thing is that's the actual story. And no one's going to believe it. I'll tell you, that is the actual story that happened. So there you go. But Nintendo apparently iterative on the Switch, more powerful, I guess. Maybe some wrinkle in there. Is that what everyone wants? Is that
Yeah.
the move?
Yes.
I mean, the
I think
saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I don't think anybody's going to be mad if you improve it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna throw some like weird stuff in there that just like nobody really wants, but they do every generation. It's gonna be some random thing that hopefully doesn't
But-
affect gameplay too bad.
Better online experience. Online experience would be great.
Won't happen.
I mean, I'm asking for minimal improvement here. I'm not asking for the world. Just a little better online experience. Yeah, and slightly powerful. We're not asking for anything too crazy. We know that's not what Nintendo does. But I think the rumors were like it would be as on par with the PS4. So yeah, that same concept as a Switch. I'm fine with that. I really, I don't need nothing too drastically different.
I think it's going to be hard to gauge the new system because it's going to use like little tricks and stuff from NVIDIA to be like the raw power, be a PS4, I guess you could say a Steam Deck, but then be able to leverage things like DLSS as an example, ways to cut down on load time. So I think it's going to be a pretty big focus for Nintendo are the load times. I remember Nate mentioned that and he kind of doubled down on it again. I feel like kind of the jump we had from the PS4 or the Xbox One to the Series and the PS5 where, I mean, you don't even really think about load screens anymore now when you play on those systems. I think it's going to be something similar for Nintendo's next system where they work that out.
Unless you're playing Starfield, definitely thinking about load.
Well, yeah. But most of the other games, yes. The load times,
I need you, but
will be mostly eliminated. I was trying to figure out the wrinkle that Nintendo would throw in there because it does feel like Nintendo's time to do something kind of weird with it, but maybe they're just thinking, hey, you know what? It works. We're going to sell another 130 million or so by making it all better. And yeah, that's all I really want. I mean, I'd pick it. I picked up the Switch OLED, it's like just shiny thing.
I mean, it's also, if it's backwards, I mean, it would be incredibly not smart to not make it backwards compatible. But the fact that we're also, this is going to be the first time in how long that we're going to have a system that we can easily switch in between and you're not punished for not having the new system. So I don't know, it worked well for the Wii to GameCube and then the Wii U to the Wii. But I'll tell you what, man, I think I don't know. I do agree with Josie. There's always going to be some new thing that they're probably going to add. Maybe they'll add like a really like cheap camera again.
That's what I'm thinking, like AR.
Yeah, just something. But I think for the most part, I hope for me that whatever it is, and I know it obviously comes down to each team and how dedicated they are to try to make it work. Just something that is powerful enough to not just be noticeable for the player, but also easier for the new like devs that are trying to port things over to the Switch, make it more doable, versus something that is probably just too cumbersome to even try. So they just throw on a lazy port and then call it a day, and then people buy it and they're like, why the heck did I buy this? This doesn't even run. So
camera on the Switch, like a front-facing one.
Like
yeah,
I think
like they did for the Wii U pad.
Bezel?
Yeah,
because I see what happens with these PS5 controllers. People leave these microphones on when they go on multiplayer.
I think they're gonna do like the notch, like on the iPhone, like some like random little camera just in the middle of it.
Gosh, okay.
I could see them doing like some type of like camera thing.
Some AR stuff. I feel like it makes
for the
a lot
Wii
of
U,
sense.
and that was freaking hilarious playing those games and just seeing everybody's double
Yeah,
chin.
3DS.
Yeah.
Like it's just makes sense.
The Joy-Con has.
We might not need that improved out online then.
The Joy-Con has like a little IR camera thingy on it.
Put the little have the sound come through the Joy-Cons.
The only time I really used the IR was like used for Labo, right? And that was fine. But the only time I really remember using it in a game, I think was Resident Evil and the Revelations, and to reload, you would cover up the IR sensor.
That's
so cool. You would like shoot it and you go like that and it would reload your gun. That's the only time I really remember using it that much.
That just seems too much.
That's all I remember using it for, other than Labo.
Well, the third party that came over, Trombone Champ, that also uses the IR.
Well, that and 1-2 Switch, and that was a whole thing at the Nintendo event when they were trying to get people to do it. And there was like, look, it can detect it. And then like next to them while they're explaining it, people are there like milking a cow, staring at each other the whole time.
Nice.
Weird situation, but
eye contact is important.
Yeah. They're like, make sure you're looking at them. Oh, okay.
You use like the AR and Ring Fit for your pulse. That was kind of really cool.
That is true.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, those are the kind of things I wouldn't necessarily miss if they left them behind. The IRs. Okay. But that's the kind of weird thing I'm envisioning on this. Where would they put the IR port kind of thing? So I don't know. Maybe they have an LCD screen that's a higher refresh rate because they feel like they can get that higher frame rate in handheld mode. But I'm trying to think of anything else. I feel like this is
they
just
wouldn't launch
legitimately
with they wouldn't launch with OLED, would they? They probably wouldn't.
This
I
is
don't think so.
I
so
would
They
like
could
it,
if they
but-
wanted to incrementally upgrade it later on, like they normally do.
Mm.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that when the PS5 got unveiled, I had no idea they were going to do two different versions of it, one digital, one physical. I almost wonder if that's the same kind of situation that could happen here. We go into the new Switch unveiling, and it's like, here's an OLED, here's an LCD. The OLED one's more expensive, but
You wouldn't
Right.
think they'd just come up with an LCD later on, like they
They
did with the
probably-
OLED.
You mean an OLED later on?
OLED,
An OLED,
OLED
yeah.
later, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably.
Or who knows? Maybe their big jump is the Switch Lite gets an OLED model next year. that's their big thing.
They want everybody to get to.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, apparently that's the strat, right? You make an incremental upgrade, even if you don't really
Yeah.
necessarily. I say you don't necessarily need it, but I really feel like the OLED has been a night and day difference, especially if you are.
Oh yeah, the OLED is
the
it
handheld
it
gamer.
looks nice.
It's
Mhm.
fantastic. Yeah.
It is. It is. Okay, so well, if that's the case, what do you think they call the thing?
Super Switch. I don't think we're going to Switch 2. I think Switch 2 is too
They're not
like
gonna call it Switch 2.
it makes too much sense. You know what I mean? Nintendo's going to do something crazy here.
Switch.
They're not
Plus.
gonna call
Reverse.
it. They're not
The
gonna call it
Super
Switch.
Switch.
It's gonna be
I don't-
called something normal because look at how they named the Switch. They could have done something crazy with the Switch OLED or the Switch Lite. They just used
That
names
is the
they used
most-
before.
I don't
But they
think
just called it.
they
They called it a straight up Switch OLED.
I don't
So
think we
if they
can
wanted to name
predict-
something crazy, they would have done it then.
How do
Don't-
you how are you gonna say like we know what they're gonna say though? Because would anybody have guessed Wii U?
Yeah, the people who made Wii U are no longer making.
Or from
games.
Would
They're gone.
would you have guessed? Would you have guessed DSi?
Nintendo has like a
No, the people
98%
that once again, the
retention
people
rate.
that made those
50%
decisions are no
people made
longer at
Wii
the
U.
company.
And Nintendo usually names their console after whatever the new special function of it is, right? So
Shutter.
whatever
They
that's
put
going
a
to
camera
be.
on it.
it-
Oh, no.
Yeah, pretty much whatever that's going to be, they're going to find some clever name for it, and that's
Switch
going to
U.
differentiate it.
The Switch Shutter.
The Switch U. Oh man.
But wouldn't
Switch Snap.
naming it Switch again though be the same issue that they had with the Wii and Wii U? That could still be kind of
Hmm.
risky.
I don't. I
would
don't think. I don't think so because it was the marketing itself that was the problem. It was like the way that they
Yeah.
revealed it. People didn't know that it was a new system when they
Yeah.
first revealed it.
They only ever
focused
showed
all
the
on
controller,
control.
never the console. It was
Yeah.
miserable.
They showed the console, but it was such a quick. It was barely even anything. Like in that
And it was
first trailer
bland.
they showed,
Couldn't even
they did
tell.
not show it
Yeah.
enough, so
I
people thought it was an
think-
add-on.
I think it would be less confusing than what we get right now with like the Xbox S and X. Why is there no
Mhm.
E? Why is there no Xbox E? Just make it Xbox X.
Xbox what?
You know, like how Tesla does their Tesla models are sexy. Just make
Oh,
it.
you actually said that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you mispronounced.
No, they're cowards. We need an
Yeah.
Xbox E.
Lean into the
Yeah,
memes.
Xbox Triple X next gen.
Yes,
Alright,
there you go.
Okay.
You got X Hamster just built in. Is that what you're trying to say? Like, what's going on?
Oh
there?
wow.
So we have. All right. Let's see the new Nintendo Switch, the Super Switch. What did I miss? I think that's
Switcheroo.
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 The Switch
Something to say
2.
about that.
The Nintendo
Switch
Switch
Snap's
with
a
two
good idea.
eyes. I like that
Switch
one.
Snap.
I really
Snap.
think it's going to be something like super laid back and
The
lazy,
swap.
like Nintendo Switch Super. I think it's going to
Switch
be called that.
Super,
what I'm
Switch
thinking.
Plus.
No.
The Super Nintendo Switch is the easy one, or Super Switch. That's the easy one. But it is. I don't know. That still also kind of sounds. It sounds a little.
What if
generic
they?
as well?
Yeah,
What if they
just
brought
like
back-
OLED.
Yeah.
Just
it
like
like-
I mean, Light. They reused the name that they already did once before with like.
Wasn't like Revolution like the code name for the GameCube or something like that? I think it was.
The,
Was-
the Wii.
The Wii. Yep.
Oh, it was, I always liked that
Oh,
for a real
GameCube,
name
was it?
though.
What was
I think it
GameCube?
was Dolphin.
Was it Dolphin?
Yeah.
It was Dolphin.
Dolphin. Yeah. Okay. So the Revolution. Yeah, I like that name, and it was weird when they showed up and said Wii, and the
Mhm.
media crushed them for that.
Oh yeah,
It was ugly. It was
pretty
ugly.
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
it
cute.
bad.
We would like to play.
That's what people didn't like. They were like, the Revolution. This sounds
Okay,
sick.
well,
This is
you
gonna
know
be
what?
It's gonna revolution. This is the Wii. It's like, what are you doing?
Short, sweet, to the
That's what
point.
it was.
Wi-Fi was new. People call it Wi-Fi. Come on.
We didn't know what it meant. We were like, what is? I don't
The-
know what that means.
The
And,
thing with that though, quick, is like the reason why it didn't blow up in their face because the marketing campaign was really good. Like the whole
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
play
a lot
dice.
of the mainstream bought it.
Yeah, like if the marketing campaign was bad, it could have blown up in their face. But
Well,
they actually had a good marketing campaign.
Right. I know. That's the whole
Yeah.
point. When people say like, oh, marketing teams are so oversaturated, it's like, no, you don't understand. Like you have to be on it with marketing. I think still to this day, that is honestly why Breath of the Wild sold as much as it did, is because the marketing for the Switch in total, plus Zelda's phenomenal marketing team. That's the only reason why we're seeing Tears of the Kingdom even do the numbers it's doing now, is because of how solid that marketing campaign was.
How many copies do you think Oprah sold of the Wii with all that promotion she was doing?
Dude,
I mean, it's
it had
Oprah,
to
man.
have
You never
been
know.
Tens
Right.
of millions. I feel like half the Wii like install base is still active in like in like retirement homes and stuff. And they're still played
Soccer
there.
moms
so.
and old ladies and
When
The
I went
Wii,
home,
the Wii
we
plus
played
Just
the Wii.
Dance.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
played the Wii. Okay.
Like literally, I was home for like 2 weeks, and every time me and my friends hung out, they were like, "Yo, we have Wii boxing," and we just boxed. It was really fun.
Yep.
the Wii
Oh,
the
that was
Wii came
worst
out
game
in
on there, too, but it's fun.
2006. So the Wii is almost, I mean, it's just about retro then, right? What do you consider retro? Is it 20
Oh,
years?
don't say
I
that.
thought it's 15 years, right?
15 years? Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Because they said Xbox 360 is now retro.
Oh,
They're retro
Yeah.
to me.
it
Those are
kinda
all
is.
It's a
retro
wrap for-
console to me.
it's a wrap for us. We old as dust.
That's why
I
we have
know.
Josie. Josie keeps us
Bro.
in he's
I know.
perspective here.
Pretty
I got a
retro,
12-year-old daughter.
actually.
She called me corny. So I mean, like,
It does bother me
that's your
when I
fault,
like
though. You use that word.
when I like come in contact with people whose first console was like the PS3 and 360. I'm like, yo, don't talk to me.
Tell him,
Please go
Josie.
away.
Let him know,
I'll give
Josie.
him
My
get in
mouth shut,
trouble.
actually. I will not be talking, I guess.
Oh, like, that's
What was Josie's
crazy
first
to me.
system though?
It was the Wii or the PS2, actually.
okay,
I can tolerate
well,
that.
that's fine.
Good.
I could
It's a
tolerate
PS2.
that, but
And it was Tekken. That was your first real game.
And it
was
was Tekken.
Tekken.
PS2 and Tekken.
Oh, that's
Tekken.
great. PS2 and Tekken? Oh,
Tekken.
my
That
God.
was a vibe.
Yeah, that's a super vibe, actually. Tekken on PS2 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to John O, who donated $100 in the chat.
Oh.
Shout out to John O,
John.
saying happy to. You know, I actually blew up John O's image here on StreamYard, and I'm now realizing that he was like a competitor on stage here. So I saw him in person at too many.
Where
games.
is your shirt, sir?
This dude is big. He's a big
Where is
guy.
your shirt?
Happy New Year, everyone. I vote click names all console variations from now on, waiting for that Xbox Series E. Hope everyone fared well through the holidays, and cheers to a healthy and prosperous 24 for all. Be sure to catch
Shout out,
all
John
of
O.
you live more often this year. Shout out to John O.
Bless you, John.
Big shout out. Yeah, you got to come out too many games again next year so people understand, or this year understand what I'm saying. That dude's, he's a big guy.
You have to wear a shirt, though, just so you know.
Nope,
Yeah.
no shirt. No shirt or nothing, baby. No shirt, John.
The- What would you? All right, so do we assume that this new system for Nintendo launching holiday? Is everyone kind of on board with the idea of that? Okay. What do you launch with? What do you launch it with? What's the launch game?
Metroid.
We'll finish up with that.
Mario.
Mario
Metroid.
Kart 9.
Metroid,
Donkey
wow.
Kong.
Mario.
Oh, okay. Donkey Kong.
Ooh.
It's gonna
The
be a
Donkey
3D
Kong disrespect has
No,
stood
Donkey
too
Kong's dope.
long.
No, Donkey Kong's dope. I
We love
agree it
Donkey
should come
Kong
out.
in this
But
house.
launching it, it's got to be
Yes.
3D Mario, right?
Interesting.
Bro, Dave, we get too many Marios. We don't get enough Donkey Kongs. Like I don't know what Donkey Kong feels like. It comes out every 8 years for me.
That's about right.
I think that's actually it.
Well, it's literally been
That is
10 since
accurate.
Tropical Freeze. It's been 10.
Listen,
It's going on 10 years
I-
now for the last Donkey Kong.
I don't know how the platformer community feels. This might be blasphemous, but I feel Donkey Kong is the best platformer they have. It's better than Mario games. It's better than anything else to me, in my opinion.
Mm.
I mean,
completely agree.
I think like the core platformer fans will definitely agree with that. I've seen so many people say that.
Got better music.
DKC
It's like Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze is
yeah.
like the greatest,
Mhm. Really good.
greatest 2D platformer ever. But obviously, the more casual platformer fans are going to be like, no, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is like the greatest thing ever, So
I think the obvious one is to launch with Mario Kart and this 10-year drought. They've been riding this live service battle pass thing going on right now. Okay, it's time to get to the next Mario Kart, and I don't
Yes.
count the. I make jokes about it, but come on, the cell phone one is like, let's let's get
I
serious.
mean, the next one they launch is just going to be all the new tracks on one card.
Oh,
So-
I can't do Mario
Jesus
Kart 8
Christ.
Deluxe Plus. You can't do
They
that.
already did that though.
Not again.
Oh my god.
They already did
Do you-
that.
You can't
Do you
keep putting
do you
plus
think
on the
they
end.
they pretty much treat the next one actually like a live service? Because towards the tail end of this one, that's what they've been doing.
I don't think it would be bad.
The
to do
thing
so?
people keep bringing up is they just show Mario Kart 8 and then the 8 rotates sideways into the infinity
Infinite
symbol, and that's it.
Oh, God.
I mean,
You
it
think
would
just
do
call it
really
Mario
well.
Kart? Yeah,
A live
I'm
service
not-
Mario Kart that's not like crazy would do really well, but I think it's gonna be. I mean, maybe they kind of adapt it more like Splatoon, where it's like that game.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah.
they kind of update it more
Splatoon is
often.
essentially a live service.
It is.
but
It's a really well done
it's
live
just
service.
too bad that Splatoon 3's internet sucks, and I will never forgive Nintendo until they fix it.
They're not
I
fixing.
think cuts out a lot. From what I remember, is it still like
It's
that?
so bad, yeah.
It's so
Oh,
bad.
wow.
I have DC'd in the first 3 months that I played Splatoon 3. I DC'd more in those 3 months that I did out of like the 2,000 hours I put in Splatoon 2. It's atrocious.
I never had issues with Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So just call it Mario Kart. You can put a little infinity thing on the side if you want, and then do what you did with Smash and just start bringing in characters from outside of Nintendo and do a whole
Yes,
collaboration.
Honestly,
and
make it the
you
next.
ride that thing for another 15 years.
Make it the
I don't
next
know.
reveal trailer excitement. You know what I mean?
There
I
you
don't think
go.
they're gonna launch it with it, but I think it'll be within the first year. Within the first year, I think it'll be.
Whenever they
it'll
put
be
it out,
announced.
it's going to do stupid numbers. So
Yeah.
there you go. It'll sell a bunch of systems. They'll make a ton of money, and
The
think the
biggest
fact that we
thing
know-
is just make the mechanics different than 8. Like, I think the anti-gravity
Yeah.
stuff is cool, but like, bro, I'm over it. And this is coming from someone on the Wii U. I played like hundreds of hours. I played a couple hundred into the Switch era, but it's just time. Like, just give us new mechanics. And I'm not
I
saying bring
agree.
Double Dash back because I freaking love Double Dash.
They could put
But-
that as like a mode. Like that'd be pretty
They
sick.
could, you know. It's
They always use a new gimmick though. Every Mario Kart game has like a new gimmick, with the exception of like I think
what was Wii?
the GBA. The
Wii
Wii
was
was
like
just
bikes.
was online playing bikes. That was like the big thing.
The
like,
buy, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the online, and then the only one was like Mario Kart. I think the GBA one was pretty much like the Super Nintendo one, but it had
Okay.
some new things. But
Is it the same as on SP? Is that basically just the same?
yeah. It's
Okay.
the same thing. But there wasn't really anything too crazy about that. It was like you can play like Super Mario Kart in the palm of your hand with better graphics. you
Yeah.
know?
This one will just be the gloves are off. There's no catch up mechanics. Everyone actually gets random items. You get a star when you're in first place. It'll be great.
That'd be so,
What was that,
that'd
That would be so
sick.
toxic.
I don't know
So
why-
fun.
I don't know why they don't
Yep.
do that more of like a browser mode, you know, like people create their custom scenarios versus just random rooms with lots of items or no items. Like give people some creativity, like have it be like only certain
Mhm.
types of gear or only bikes, or, you know.
They kind of did a little bit of that, but it wasn't exactly.
Well,
Like, they made it to where you can
discoverability is-
customize- Like, yeah, you can customize like your. Believe it or not, which was terrible, which I hated about this. It came out at the very end to where you can actually like customize the items in your own lobby. Like that wasn't a feature.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I think about a year ago or so.
Oh, yeah,
and that
it's
made
been
it
like
so
2
much
years.
better to play. You can remove the stupid blue shell. You can remove the
Oh.
coins.
You
know?
go mushrooms only.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go mushrooms only. You can go whatever.
Blue
you
shell
can customize it
mushrooms
to whatever
usually
you
good.
want.
Blue
you know?
shell only. That one's
You
crazy.
can go blue shell
Coins
only.
are the worst pick. I always Google what the hell. I play Mario Kart a lot with my wife. I still can't remember what the hell those coins are for. Like it's
It's
crazy.
supposed
like-
to increase your engine efficiency a
Nope.
little bit, but it's
Nope.
so minor.
All it does is piss me off and let me get hit by blue shells.
No, it
And also,
increases
why
your
can't you
speed,
dodge?
dude.
It
Why
does.
can't
It
you dodge
increases
blue
your
shells
max.
anymore? Why can't you? Like, I know you gotta be like frame perfect. You also can't dodge red shells easily anymore.
I thought
Bring
it might
back
have been
the
a weight
cowards.
thing. It doesn't make you like heavier or something.
No, it makes
I
you
don't know.
fast. It makes you a little bit faster with each.
Yeah,
one.
it's like
That's
a
just like your max
tiny
speed is a
amount
little
faster.
bit pushed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah,
I
dude,
feel
the
like this is
car
like all
models before, that's-
speculation and we not sure.
It's just
No,
a
I'm
waste
serious.
of
That's
stuff.
what it is.
It's a thing.
There's probably an Excel
It's a
spreadsheet
waste.
out there somewhere for
There
it.
is.
No,
a
it is.
waste.
It is.
I'm sure there is. It's Mario Kart, maybe we'll see, but it's gonna be an interesting year for Nintendo. I'd say new Switch holiday. Maybe Donkey Kong, maybe 3D Mario. We'll
I
find
think
out.
Donkey Kong would come out like before the next Switch does, and for like this normal
So
Switch.
you think it's gonna
And
be
then
a
you may
Switch game?
carry into.
Yeah, I think it'd be maybe like a cross-platform or something, but
Okay.
I figured Metroid Prime 4 would be a cross-platform at this
Yeah,
point. It held
I
it
think so.
long
It would
enough.
have. It would have to
That's
be. There's no way
cross-platform.
you could promote that at the beginning of a cycle, and then only have it come out for the next one.
To me, at this point, let Retro do their thing with the new hardware. They'll get a lot out of it, and I kind of want to play Metroid Prime 4 on better hardware, to be honest, at this point.
I mean,
so
I would say yes.
I'm
but
kind
it's
of to
gonna
that point.
It's going to be like Zelda, though. That's how Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah, but
That's how Twilight Princess was, technically.
Retro's pretty
besides-
good. Retro's pretty good with hardware, and
Yeah.
I think they'd get a lot out of it. Ray tracing, most likely they'd use that, and I think it'd be cool. Move over to Xbox as our last company for 2024. Developer Direct coming up in a week and a half, so get excited. I don't know which studios they're going to, but I assume they're going to 4 of them. Maybe one more for a shadow drop. But that's something to look forward to as they work to set up 2024. The big game that I think is going to be first half, and now expectations are through the roof, is Hellblade 2, because Nate said some stuff on our Direct Xbox podcast, and it got passed around a lot with their internal reviews, which people found out with Redfall that they do internal reviews, and Redfalls weren't coming out as anywhere near what Hellblade 2s are right now, and they still missed with Redfall. So Hellblade 2, they're getting mock reviews that are fairly high. It's in the 90s right now, but typically they'd still be off by average of 8 to 10 points. So it could still end up being like a mid to high 80s game, I would say, for Hellblade 2, but expectations through the roof. Do we think, which I feel like this is probably their first big game of the year. Do we think Hellblade 2 is going to live up to any of these expectations that are now being placed in front of it?
I mean, you're essentially asking if a sequel is going to carry people's opinion of an entire console generation.
To start off 2024 as like their big game that they have coming up. Because they just did Starfield, Forza. But Starfield it's like a lightning rod for conversation, but even the Bethesda fans are like, it's not necessarily the level I was hoping it'd be at. But Hellblade 2, with what Ninja Theory did with the first Hellblade, which was done on a $10 million budget.
I mean, what they did was spectacular.
There's a lot of expectations around this. And let's be real, they've shown this game like 5 or 6 times now, and they just keep saying nothing or 2024 now for the year. So I mean, they showed it originally next to the Xbox Series X when that got unveiled. So it's been a trudge now waiting for this game to come out. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one on Hellblade, because the combat people are scratching their heads a little bit at from those brief flashes that they showed in the trailer. There's a lot of hope being placed on Hellblade 2 right now. I mean, I am leaning on the side of believing Ninja Theory and what they can do with the funding put behind them right now and the talent, but they kind of got to prove it with this one.
I don't think it should be under all this pressure that it has and all this heavy expectation that some are putting it on, because, I think it's a bad habit. And I don't know who does this. Sometimes it's the Xbox fans, but sometimes it's just people in general. Whatever the next game is, has to cure cancer. It's like, bro, the next game can it just be a good game? Can that just be the expectation? Like, it doesn't have to carry the weight of the world and everything like that. You know?
I kind of wonder if those the Insomniac leaks play into it, where they were kind of looking at Hellblade 2 in their meetings, and they were like, we got to get Wolverine up to this level kind of thing. Even Sony kind of looking at Hellblade 2 right now as, that's pretty good. So I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be able to take things to the next level and blow away reviewers from the first game, because the first game experience is there and it was very different. But will Hellblade 2 be that much different, where it's like memorable? And
it's Hellblade 2, right? It's not something completely different. So I think the biggest thing you can hope for any sequel, but a game specifically like that, is it going to keep the experience and kind of the consistency of heart that lured you in with the first one? Is it gonna kind of give you that same universe of a feel? You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing, is you don't necessarily have to surpass it, but is it just as good of a journey kind of thing? And as to it, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I would predict something like an 87, 88 Metacritic. That's what I
think
predict.
that'd be good. I think
really
they're solid
good.
for it. Yeah, because that's still kind of the thing for Xbox right now. While they have they put the Forzas out and they've done, obviously Hi-Fi Rush was big for them, and Psychonauts 2 and stuff. People are looking for that game that's not only the graphical showcase, but also plays into that narrative adventure kind of game that really hits high on like the ratings board. And Hellblade 2 could be it. It's been in development at Microsoft the whole way. It's not one of those games that are like, well, they kind of showed up at the end and just nudged it over the finish line. It's been there this whole time. So
What'd the first one get?
Like Metacritic?
81, 82.
Yeah,
Some-
I thought it was
I
at
think.
80s. Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's in the 80s. Yeah.
So yeah, if they can push it up to like an 8, I think that'd be pretty good for Hellblade 2. So a good way for them to start off 2024 as well, which actually brings us to something you kind of brought up earlier, Click, and that's about apparently a critically acclaimed game from Microsoft is set to go to a different platform this year. It's described as a game that was in the Game of the Year conversation when it had released, and there's speculation around it being Hi-Fi Rush. This comes from Nate again, and I do believe that he's correct on this one. And that is going to be interesting if that happens, because now the question is, does this open up? I believe Jez mentioned it on Twitter. Does it open up the Pandora's box, as he put it, that more and more of these games will just start showing up on other platforms? And does it send a mixed message to, I mean, really at this point, just Xbox owners?
I heard that what he's saying, and I get what he's saying, but I don't think it sends a mixed message, at least not if you look a bit deeper. The games that do this, they're all the smaller or AA type of game that would fit well, that would obviously, the developers, if they have any ambitions for the game being more than what it's going to be, whether it's like a TV show or Netflix like Cuphead, it makes complete sense for them to do Cuphead on Switch or other platforms. What else? Ori makes complete sense for a game like Ori. Like, it's not like they're bringing over Starfield and Forza and like all these other bigger games. They're just bringing over the games that make sense. So I get why it would be for on the optics level, yes. But if you look at the type of games that are coming over, it's not there. It's not going to be. I mean, I know Hellblade came over, but that was before, like, that was already contracted to come over to other platforms. So like Hellblade 2 is not going to be on like the next Switch or on PlayStation. So it makes sense if you look at the type of game. If it's a smaller AA or indie type of game, yes, there's a possibility that it can come over. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's just that.
Yeah. I also don't think it takes away from the game, like, in any way, really, because like games like Ori and Cuphead, they're so good that they like sort of
and
transcended and found a new audience as well.
Yeah,
So just
so the developers make so much money off of. They make it's like a night. Like, if you saw how much money they made off of Ori and everything, everyone would be like, okay, yeah, it's a good idea, right? Because the developers, they're small, they're indie developers, right? Or what's the developer for? Sorry to cut you off.
Moon.
Yeah.
Moon Studio.
Or no, the other developer, Hi-Fi Rush, they're Tango, right? Tango is not as big.
Well, they're part of. I mean, they're part of Microsoft now, so they're just, they're hiring a ton now. So
yeah. But if they want, like, let's say they want Hi-Fi Rush to be something more, because that could be a multimedia franchise, you know, like
they could make a whole show out of it, probably for Netflix or Amazon. Or
Sorry
something.
about that, Joseph. My bad.
No, you're good. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, no, I think Hi-Fi Rush would do crazy numbers on the Switch. I obviously we all don't know for sure, but even on Game Pass, I don't think Hi-Fi Rush. I personally wasn't exactly my type of game. I did give it a try, but I could see it could be much bigger, even on other platforms. Even though it was in Game Pass, I don't think it got the light and the attention it could have.
Yeah, it would do pretty well on the Switch. I think people looked at that game when it was first shown, and they're like, I heard people say this kind of looks like a game that would do well on the Switch, like just immediately seeing it. So I think it would, I don't say second life, but it would definitely bring in many people would be interested in it then. And the idea here, from what I understand, would be you show them the first game, which would be Hi-Fi Rush, and surprise, they're probably going to do something to follow it up. A Tango will. And where do you go for it? Wherever Microsoft decides it goes. And I think that's the strategy here. So like you said, OJ, I don't think Starfield, anything like that would go, but I got to admit I understand why people are kind of looking at this a little raised eyebrows a bit. Like, hold on a minute. What are we doing here exactly? Because then there's concerns that Microsoft may eventually find their way out of the hardware game. I've seen that even from like, Maddie mentioned it on the Defining Duke. They kind of started to discuss that a bit. It's like, wow, really? Geez, we're to the point where we're thinking Microsoft might just back away from the hardware game at this time. I don't know. It seems a little too soon for that, because they might start the next generation legitimately in 3 years. But I I think Microsoft's a software company, and that's what they're comfortable with. So I
Yeah,
actually wonder how long hardware for consoles are really even going to be around in the first place, just in general. Go, Josie.
I think that just might be a little bit of an oversimplification. Just people like aren't super happy with this generation of Xbox. But like if you think about it, like OJ was saying, you know, even the games that are successful, they bring to Nintendo because it makes sense, and they've always played ball with Nintendo really well. Like the rare stuff, all that. I think it's just like I don't necessarily think it means like doom and gloom for them.
No, I don't see them. This all of a sudden means that Microsoft starts putting all their games on everything. Just the games that make sense, guys. Just the games that make sense. I mean, you just let it wither away on Game Pass. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure people are playing it, but once you play it, it's done, right? Then where does your reach go? Because now a lot of people on Xbox, right? They just do Game Pass, right? They're not buying like the games regular, like first party games. You just get all that on Game Pass. So if you can find like 100 million install base, I mean, that is like, if you guys were running the company, you guys would all do this. Everybody would do the same thing for those type of games. For games like Ori, for games like Cuphead, you guys would all, if it says, oh, we're going to make an extra $40 million or $50 million or whatever, everyone would be like, yeah, that's the smart thing to do for in that situation. And just in that situation, not in every situation, because there's things that you want as like system sellers, right? That you want only to be on your console. So stuff like Hellblade, that's a system seller. That's something that people are going to really go out there like big game, whatever, game of the year. So yeah, you don't do that, but you do Cuphead, you do stuff like that.
Did people equally, freak out? Because to me, I feel like it would be a bigger deal when you find out that like Horizon or God of War are coming to PC versus remaining only on
just
a
the
PlayStation.
crazy people freaked out.
But that seems more far-fetched to me than seeing like Hi-Fi Rush on the Switch or something, because I don't know, like what's the other game that should have been on Switch way sooner and it didn't? Fall Guys should have been on Switch like easily a year before it did.
Sony paid for a deal for that one.
Yeah,
I think it's just the console thing. Like I feel like people look at PC as just sort of like, because PC is a number of different companies and launchers. I think it's just like, okay, that's PlayStation, that's Nintendo, this is Xbox kind of thing. I think that's what it is, really. So.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I mean, I guess if that's like the biggest thing you have to worry about, consider yourself lucky. Maybe. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, if you like Hi-Fi Rush, and it goes to Switch and it does really well,
I'll get to play
sequel. So there you go.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, so
it's on PC. Click if you want it.
It's a good game.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
I guess
you can just play it terrible. Well, I don't say terrible. You can just play it like an action game and not even pay attention to the rhythm stuff.
I think you'll like it quick. You're like rhythm. Yeah, you're a music person. You're a music person, so you'll like it.
Okay.
Oh, you'll like it then. Yeah. Let me go through some of these super chats as we finish up here. I can put them on screen, but let me just do a quick glance at them. Make sure. Okay, I think we're good.
Yo, do we are we running low on time though, as far as him getting murdered by his wife?
Whoa, what?
Are you good?
No,
you're not on borrowed time, right? I just want to make sure you're not gonna get in trouble.
Oh, me? No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
She's on the phone. She's over there on the phone.
Check on him as well.
Yeah, she's on the phone over there.
I told BJ we get it for like an hour or so, and we're over the hour mark. So I'm going to go through some of the super chats here.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. What she said kind of threw me off because I just came back from watching a movie about this dude who murdered his wife.
No,
Jesus Christ!
I was like, what? Wait, what are you talking about?
Wait, who's murdering who?
I'm a little bit high, so that kind of freaked me out.
I told you it was last minute. or he says,
I already took it. Before, after
That's why he agreed, John.
Yeah.
Hey, it's after 10 o'clock now. You're good. Jorge says, hey, everyone, Happy New Year. What do you think Metroid needs to get over the hump to sell more than 5 million? They need Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4 can get it done.
Yeah. There you go. It's coming up. G-Man says
Metroid argument in the Nintendo community is always funny to me with the sales.
I will say, give it a really good marketing campaign. Give us a really epic trailer. Give us some good billboards or some good just on the broadside building. You know what I mean? Just give us some solid Samus support, and we should be good.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, they could, and if the support doesn't come through, then
then we know that it's on everybody else.
We've answered the riddle.
They tried. I mean, I have my hashtag buy Metroid games. I don't know what else I can do.
They could do like a
multiplayer mode. I think that could make it bang because that could make it get really big. I don't think it should be the whole thing, but I think it could be cool.
Multiplayer on one of the worst multiplayer consoles.
Yeah, I realize, but
G-Man says, Josie is my favorite Amish content creator.
Oh,
I wore a shirt.
Mennonites in the house.
I like that shirt. Just it's a nice shirt.
Enrique has a bunch of suggestions for you, Click. I don't know if oh wow, okay. Let's see. New Wa?
This is for your character name.
for my monk. Yeah.
I still think
that last
Bamboozled is
one is
probably the
something.
best one I heard.
Oh, it translates to Panda Click. There you go.
Hey, I like
Those are
that.
good suggestions. There
Those
you
are
go.
good ideas. Thank you. Thank you, Enrique.
Let's see. This is from Master Detective. It says, I need to know the Spawn Wave lore. Why did John lose his glasses? Also, the new Nintendo console will be called Nintendo Switch Plus. Originally, I broke my glasses after trying to keep them around for a long. I try to keep my glasses around for a long time. I don't get new glasses very often. I broke them. I think it was at a park at one point. I go to the doctor. They tell me that my eyes have healed enough to put contacts, because I originally had scarring on my eyes and I couldn't wear contacts. They healed, and then now I can use contacts.
How did you get scarring on your eyes?
Because when I was younger, I would just sleep in my contacts sometimes.
Really? You get scarring?
I would just forget they were in there. I fell, and it was over a period of time. I ended up having scarring in my left eye, this eye.
Wow.
I got contacts and stopped wearing them after one day and went right back to glasses.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm serious. I couldn't do it.
It's that feeling of your eye just going towards your finger, and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah,
I didn't like the way people
insane.
treated me with glasses, so I got contacts.
Boop, you drop them in. I have glasses still laying around. I just use them at night or in the morning.
Treat
and
people
stuff,
differently
but-
with glasses.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Night and day difference. It's
Damn.
wild. No one wants to
People
talk
are mean
about
as
it.
hell. Jesus.
Bro,
Just
it's
wear a pair of
real.
glasses on. Screw that person. With
Bro,
damn
it's-
poor eyes.
Middle school all over again.
I had glasses for 12 years, and the week after I started wearing contacts was wild, dude. It pissed
I
me
always
off.
thought the glasses look was cool. I
Maybe
thought it was,
now?
You got to get the right glasses.
Maybe now. Yeah. You get the cool frames or whatever. So
yeah, I
Dark
always thought-
Dreams asks BG, do you still communicate with Acid Snake 87?
Oh yeah. He commented on one of my videos before. Acid Snake is a dude from the old guard, like back when he was probably making content when YouTube first started. When it was the Wild Wild West and there weren't really any communities. He was making videos since then. Yeah.
Oh wow. It's from Yo Peeps, who says, Blade a license Xbox exclusive for a future all digital console subscription. How long do you have to buy it before the license runs out? Yeah, that'll be something they'll have to deal with you see it with a lot of the car games where they have to pull them down because at Ferrari or whoever can't have their license in there anymore. So that'll be a fun future. Let's see. This is from Ghost, who says, WBG being here. We need the podcast back.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. People are spending time with their families and enjoying their Sundays till we sell them back to you.
oh, it's a good way to put it.
Or to the Eagles losing the playoffs.
Yeah, I've already given up on my team. I already know the Eagles.
Well, it's not
Eagles,
close enough to hear me
aren't
say
going
that, so we're good.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I'm still scared.
She put the Eagles flag at half staff outside.
I'm still scared of the Eagles.
Baltimore is beating y'all no matter what. Even I'm just letting you know.
I'm not gonna say that. I've got to get out of the NFC first. As a Niner fan, I've been here before. The past 10 years, there's been 2 Super Bowls, lost both of them. So
but Browns about to go take out Baltimore. Joe Flacco's coming home.
Yes, I want that to happen. I want the Browns to take out.
Shout out to University of Delaware. He's gonna represent, take down Baltimore.
Let's do it.
Imagine that'd be so dumb.
That'd be good.
Banana says Dragon's Dogma 2 is better. No, I can't push back on that yet. We gotta see how they all turn out. Let's see. Xbox is trash. Sure, they have a good comment. Nintendo and PlayStation still have a better year than X trash. Okay.
So elegant.
Michael Gibson says,
Weekly.
got a PS5 for Christmas and playing Final Fantasy 16, which is awesome. And I know it's a tech demo, but Astro's Playroom is a blast to play.
Yeah.
It is
I
fun.
loved Astro.
Okay, let's see. Casual Noob Gamer says, okay, not going to put that spoiler up. Thank you, Casual Noob Gamer. Appreciate it. Hey, I ruined Final Fantasy 7 for a whole bunch of young people apparently. Maybe even Josie. I don't
People,
know.
you
Sure, I
can't
can't play
complain.
anymore.
If you weren't born in the right generation, that's too damn bad. That's not our fault.
The right
Okay.
generation is a crazy thing to say.
I'm sorry.
I
we
gave you a
got
chance.
to experience Final Fantasy VII. You didn't. You're late. You should have been.
I
here
got to
before.
experience Fortnite at its height, so I think I'm winning.
That's not a good
Oh, man,
joke.
I don't know. You
I'm
missed,
kidding.
you
That was
missed
a joke.
Final Fantasy
I
VII
can't, I
moment.
can't make
man.
a joke.
You
Friendship.
can't make a joke. I'm laughing.
Hey, Fortnite. Final Fantasy. That's still crazy. Yeah, we gave you a chance, Josie. I gave you 2 weeks to play through Final Fantasy VII Disc 1.
I tried.
And you chose the right answer.
It was horrendous. I don't know.
What? Oh,
Did you play?
man.
Did you play the remake, Josie?
I haven't played the remake.
No, she played
Oh,
the
man.
just the
Did you play the
Hold on,
Switch
we're not-
version when it's 3 times sped up?
Yeah.
It
Still.
was still rough. I mean, you can just button mash. Honestly, you'll get through
playing
it.
that game with a PS1
Yeah.
controller that didn't have analog sticks. We're talking about speeding this thing up to 3 times, man.
That's how
Gosh.
I replayed it. Was on the 3 times. I was on a trip in Colorado and I'm sitting in the freaking waiting for my plane. I'm just
I played up halfway through the second disc without a memory card.
well,
I
John, you're
tried. It's
done.
just- I'm not an
Hardcore.
RPG person either. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Serial
not-
Well,
killer.
we didn't have memory cards back then. If you remember when the PS1 was like in the early days, kind of memory cards. There's like a whole drought for memory cards. You
There
couldn't get
was.
them, and they were like
Mhm.
4 times the amount. PS2 went through the same thing. It was really weird.
Yeah,
It
I
was
had to grab a
Splash Memory, I
third
guess.
party one, I think.
Remember
when I
that?
wanted my
Yeah,
PS1
so it wasn't just
card.
me, but we didn't have the memory card. I had Final Fantasy 7. I'm like,
You know what?
all right,
you
it's
know,
staying on, and
if
then
you
mom
played
vacuumed one
GameCube-
day, and it was over.
if you played GameCube, that wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is from Tijo. Says, with the Dave and Buster's now in my area, it makes me wonder if the arcade scene ever really died or is being revived. There's a Mario Kart arcade GP, but no fighting game, sadly. Yeah, Dave and Buster's does a lot of the casual games that just spits out tickets. Like you honestly, I don't know. They should just sell tickets at the register at this point. It's
Yeah, like the true arcade thing is pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It needs to be attached to a bar or something else. It's always that side step.
But
Yeah.
hey, I think that's successful. I'm trying not to slur my words here.
The barcade approach, it's pretty good.
Barcade is like I feel like the perfect balance. I've 3 times in the last half year I've met up with a couple friends from out of state, and they drove a couple hours to come meet up, and it was like 5 or 6 of us, and we all just went to a barcade and we all just hung out,
Oh,
and it was
great.
super fun. But it's just there's a lot of kind of attractions that just don't seem appealing anymore, and the fact that especially so many people meet online that have gaming as something in common, I feel like that can be really fun still to these days.
It's
But
gonna be
I've even
hella
been to some of those
stressful for the
arcades.
owners.
Have you been to some of the ones where it's like the big F1 models and you can sit in front of a screen and it's actually like driving the way you drive? Dude, those things are bonkers.
I've been to one arcade and it was like alcohol and I'm not crazy about a lot of the retro games, but alcohol and those those cabinets and everything in retro games, there's something really good about it.
Yeah,
I'd
my
be nervous
friends go
running up-
actually a lot, which is random, but they love them, and they play like the super old ones too, so which is random. But-
I'd be nervous if I ran a barcade and I had some
Nah,
of those
dude, I'd be hella
nice
nervous.
cabinets and people are walking around with
Mhm.
pitchers of beer like near my Marvel vs. Capcom 2
Or, like,
cabinet.
No, you're not allowed-
stacking
you're not
them
Get some
up.
You're not
light gun
supposed to.
machines, first person to get
It's
Oh, yeah.
mad.
normally
just
not.
chucks
They don't
it.
really sell
Oh.
pictures. It's usually just like individual glasses. You can't
No,
really.
you're not allowed to take it over. Like in,
Past the
in
bar.
Dave and
Give
Buster's,
them
yeah, you're not
sippy
allowed to
cups
take
or
it.
something.
I go there all the time with my daughter, and
No, but I mean
we-
like in like
yeah,
a barcade that's like owned by it's more like a family owned one or something. Like people are
okay.
doing that now, right? Where they open them. I don't know. You refurbish an entire arcade cabinet, and then people are walking around with like beer pitchers and stuff. I don't know. That'd be
Yeah,
That'd be
I
hard.
would say no, like a
everyone that
hawk.
everyone that I've been to, because there's a couple, and actually when I was back in Florida last week, we went to a pretty popular one. They're just, as long as you're respectful of the rules, but because you are a smaller establishment, I feel like because the owner is usually involved there, they're like, hey man, listen to the rules or get out. And usually
Yeah.
people are pretty chill about it. So
This is from Lemstar, who said, a great man once said, oh, the camera's on. It's been on the whole time, huh? Can't wait for the legendary DSP document. Thank you, Lemstar. I appreciate it.
I think they'll
Somebody
combo
has to
with
do
all
a
the other
documentary on
content creators.
DSP.
Oh no, they are. They are.
No,
doing
they're
one.
there's
Oh,
small
get the-
ones, but there's got to be a major one. Yeah.
No,
shit.
there's
I
going
need
to
to
be a
watch
big
this.
one from the
It's the
same
same guy who did
Boogie.
Boogie.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's gonna be a
that's
big
gonna
one
be
that says-
fire.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Because I've seen
How-
the small ones for DSP, and those are great. So like
The
that's
downfall of
pretty solid.
DSP has to be studied and put in history books, man. It's insane. Just
Well, he's
his
back,
whole
man.
history. Like, and I'm not even wishing on his downfall or anything like that, but his whole just history.
Everyone
is
loves a
insane.
train wreck. Everyone. Loves a train
Yeah.
This is Future Millionaire says, "Welcome back, guys. I'm sure I speak for a lot of us when I say the show was missed." Future Millionaire, and I believe I think that's all the super chats here that popped up. Here's one from Radberry who says, "Happy 2024 Spawncast crew." Why is that in the thing I can click? The stars. All right. Happy 2024 Spawncast crew. Any advice for starting my own YouTube channel?
Yes, there's a guy called Reforge Gaming. Go watch his latest clip on Twitter and just basically follow what he does, and I think you should be good.
Okay, no.
this is real disrespectful.
OJ mean.
I would
Give me that time of night.
He
Who saw the
disrespected
clip?
that
Who
man
saw
in the
the clip?
nicest way
I
possible.
think BG saw the clip.
Like that's very backhanded advice he's giving you.
I would start YouTube with the intent of having fun with it, treating it like a hobby, and if it blows up for you, then run with it. But
That's
I
the
wouldn't
biggest
go
thing.
into it with a business plan and strategy and stuff.
Just
so.
like the biggest thing is just post videos that if no one else saw, be prepared for no one else to see. But if you were the only person that could see it, that you still loved it, like you were still proud of it. Don't feel like you have to meet expectations of other people, because you start trying to mold when it's supposed to be, like John said, a hobby. You're going to be miserable right out of the gate. Like once you kind of hone in on your craft, you hone in on your style, you hone in on your voice, your branding, whatever it is, that's when you can start worrying about, do I want to follow the algorithm more? But that by then it's like you've hit a stride and you can make those decisions better. So
Yeah.
just do you. Have fun with it.
I think you definitely got to be yourself and let the audience that naturally attracts to you just attract to you. Don't try to copy nobody else, because it's going to be really hard for you to gain that audience that's not real and authentic to you. So that's, I think that's what I did. So.
And John O again says, Buster was a phenomenal man, great dude, and so humble, such a great father and grandfather. Thank you, John O. Shout outs. And I think that's everything here. Let me go around. I'll double check while we're going around here with outros. Let me start with our guest again. Thanks for joining us, BG. Last minute filling in. Where can everyone find you? Anything coming up? What we got?
Yeah, my channel is Broken Games HDR. My podcast is Weapon Wheel Podcast. We go live Sundays at 5 p.m. So come and check us out. It's very, it's real debauchery and there's a lot of degenerate conversations going on. Yeah, we're really bad. Just all the things you would never want your mother to hear on a gaming podcast. But yeah, come check us out, and you might enjoy it. 5 p.m. Sundays, but we might not come back until the 21st. So, yeah.
Okay, couple weeks. Keep it on the radar. There was one, I guess I just missed it, but it says Derek asked what games have you been playing and give details. Okay, so I'm actually right now I'm playing Prince of Persia and I cannot give details, but I will be talking about that. I think next week is when all that stuff's going live, because the game will be out. There's gonna be a demo next week as well, so check out for that. But otherwise, I just do more RoboCop, which there's an update for New Game Plus actually. I think for that now.
Very underrated game. I really loved it. Yeah.
Yep, that one's good. And then I've been
like
trying through Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2 is tough, man. I'm trying. I'm trying over here. It's
Wait.
not
Do you not like it?
it's not click with me. It's just it's
Yeah,
slower. I don't know.
Yeah, I made the same complaint on Twitter, and I got attacked by the mob.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
just people.
It's okay, because when I say something that's very something that's unpopular, I guess, and I get attacked for it on Twitter, you see it happen all the time. I'm like, you know what? There are a lot of people who feel the exact same way I do. They're just staying quiet. I got to take the bullets. I'm the one who said it. I'm gonna speak for everybody else who feels this way but won't say anything. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm glad to know
I'm working
I see
through
somebody
it, man.
else
I'm like 7 hours in, and I'm like, man, this I'm still walking.
They called me so many names. You're unsophisticated. You know, they called me so many names
at one point. I think they called you
because I didn't. They called me a frag head. Oh, you just want to shoot all the damn time. I'm like, it's not even.
Oh, this is about me. See, here's my problem, right? Because I have the Xbox here, I was playing PlayStation here, so I'm like RoboCop and go over Alan Wake 2, and I'm like, man, I was having fun with RoboCop too, RoboCop a little while ago. I'm playing Alan Wake 2. I'm like, oh man, no. I'm trying. What I end up doing is, and I've done it multiple times. I don't say it's not for Alan Wake 2, hate beating it, but I like hit my head against the wall until I beat the game. I did it with things like Saints Row, Redfall. Alan Wake 2's next. I'm gonna trudge through it.
I played it for 3 hours and dropped it. I was like, no, okay. I can't do it anymore.
Well, I will just out of spite, I'll beat it. But yeah, not on my top list of games right now. So, but Josie, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Josie Woe. I'll have a video on Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to have a normal stream schedule because I got my classes, so I should be able to structure stuff around that. Hopefully.
Oh, good.
But yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on.
Let me see. I have John Harrington. Will Amiibo be a thing next gen, or are they coming up with a replacement collectible? I think they will be a thing next. Yeah, they changed the packaging to be very generic. People are reading into that. I think they're just preparing it for future stuff. So it'll probably still be around. I'm sure they make something on it. So. And then Banana says BG is right. By the way, Josie was born in the wrong generation. Should have been born earlier.
Let her know.
Josie for being younger than us.
Let her know. Shame her. Shame.
What can I do about that? Nothing.
Hey.
I'm happy. I'm
Better
young.
parents.
I don't care.
OJ, where can I find you? And what game did you play? I heard you trying to drop a game in earlier.
Was I?
Were you? I thought you were going to talk about Mario Wonder since you 100% the thing.
Oh no! Well, yeah, I already beat.
So
I 100% it recently, and it's the worst game ever made. So,
oh yeah,
hashtag
I love that. That's like it reminds me of the Starfield reviews where they played for 130 hours and like it's terrible. It's like hold on,
that last level just really pissed me off. But no, yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is awesome. But yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube. I have some pretty cool videos that I've already did. I did like a top 25, like it's like an hour-long video on like the best like ports from the Nintendo Switch era. At my top 25, there's some pretty surprising picks in there. So if you're into like countdown videos and stuff, I've got all of that I've been doing, which has been fun. Top RPGs for this year coming up. All that stuff is on the channel as well. And I stream pretty much every day. So if you guys want to come watch the streams and hang out, do that. So yeah.
And what about Click?
Oh, and also one more thing. If you want to hear about why the Panthers shouldn't have drafted Bryce Young, that's also what we talk about too. He's too little. He's too little. There's barely any little quarterbacks that have ever won the Super Bowl. That was a mistake, and they're looking stupid now because CJ.
It's year one for him. Come on, don't kill him already.
He's too small. BG.
Oh,
would you have drafted him?
Just a
would you have drafted
him?
Wow.
Would you have drafted him?
What's discrimination against height? What's that? Does it have a name?
How many?
Elevationist.
I'm asking you, would you have drafted him?
He's not as short as Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's shorter.
Kyler Murray's runs like a 4.3.
He's short. I don't care what he runs.
Kyler Murray runs a 4.3.
He's little. There's no redemption from being.
Kyler Murray runs a 4.3. Bryce Young does not.
Mm-hmm. There's little short, stubby legs.
I have to deal with that dude 2 times a year. So yeah, I don't like him. I don't like Kyler Murray at all.
What about Click?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy New Year, everyone. Hoping to be more present this year, up until hopefully moving again, whenever that is. Yeah, we're back to streaming. If you haven't been up to date, we're streaming, yes, on Twitch, but we're also streaming onto YouTube as well. So if you don't have notifications on for live streams on my YouTube, Misclick Gaming, make sure you have those on because a couple people have said that they weren't aware of it because YouTube doesn't push it. So outside of that, you can follow me on social media at _misclick_. And then I'll kind of let you know when I go live there. We were talking for the new year and in regards to other videos being posted to YouTube outside of even just gaming content, and it was kind of like mind dump videos. So thanks to everybody who has been sharing their thoughts on that. But yeah, we're looking forward to the new year. Baby's getting older, my schedule's freeing up a little bit, and just getting to hang out with you guys. all over again. So thanks for having me.
So what about Evan?
You can find me over at Kimrex Project on YouTube. You can find me there as well, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much anything. But if you're into tabletop games, strategy, stuff like that, I'm going to try to get a lot of faster videos out the next couple of months, see if I can churn some interest. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you get views over there. People should go check it out, get more videos out quicker. It's a good idea. Make sure to check out Evan over on his tabletop channel. Let's see. T-Joe says, any of you guys ever played Eternites? I have
anime action dating game.
No.
Yeah, I've played it.
No.
It's okay.
Crazy.
Of course, OJ has.
Of course.
Of course, you have.
I have not played that one, T-Joe.
It's like Persona, similar to it's like a Persona style game, but not as good.
Want to give a shout out to KJ Wars 85, member and up. And Juice Man Vaughn says, salute to the Spawncast. I also want to shout out BG because I don't always agree with what he says, but I like that he says whatever he wants to say.
That's what most people tell me these days. Like, nobody ever agrees with me, but I appreciate you.
That's the ultimate sign of respect, man.
Nice.
Mutual, yeah. That's genuine respect.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. This is from Cristobal. It says, Happy New Year, everyone. Always awesome to see guests. Look forward to checking out Weapon Wheel. Good short movie, Josie.
Thank you.
I watched it.
Thank you.
Shout out to Cristobal. And that is going to do it for Adam says, Sup, bros and ladies, was just clicking in real quick. Love all. Thanks for the constant content. Take care. Just finished Armored Core 6, by the way. Shout out. Armored Core 6. I think a surprise for a lot of people actually in 2023. Did pretty well in Game of the Year Madness even. And I think that is it. Yep. Shout out to Adam once again. That's going to do it here for the Spawncast mini episode. It's an OVA, whatever you want to call it. It's, we'll be back. Everyone should be back next Saturday night. And we'll see you guys then.